Just comb your hair, go and wash your face. It's been a real long time since you've seen the light of day. So let thoughts come as they may, beauty and parade. Everybody all smiles when you're back in the seat again. On board the Petty Express to a beautiful darkness. It's full steam ahead to ride the rails to our next destination. Yeah!
Welcome everyone. This is Mo from Mo in the Deep End, and we are on the Petty Express for day 5 in the Speedish run with Mo, your conductress, aboard the Petty Express, where we use dark humor, sarcasm, and a lot of snark to deal with the absolute dumpster fire that is this case. Hopefully you guys had a good evening. We are finally getting that snow that we were promised yesterday, although it's coming in fits and spurts. I don't think it's going to do anything, but it is here now, so no thanks again. Welcome Wolfram doing your Modly Mod duties, and Photo Lady 12, Penny Williams, Southern Red Sox Girl. I looked ahead and just kind of skimmed because Court TV is really good about putting the witnesses up. So it looks like we are going to have David Gratz, Dimples McLego hair on the stand for a lot of the morning. And then looks like we're then going to get Detective Matthew Price from the Sullivan County Sheriff. Oh, interesting. And Shelley B., welcome, and thanks for joining us all the way from Yorkshire, England. Oh my goodness, it's 3 p.m. there. I'm like, your day's almost done, and my day's just starting. I love how time works. I'm easily amused. Well, I will say he always trips me out when he does that to his glasses. I had never seen glasses like that before, and it still kind of trips me out. Welcome JKD Buck and Pokemom. Okay, why am I not hearing anything? Okay. All right, so it looks like they were conducting sort of things outside of the witness or the jury or something, because it doesn't look like they turned audio on until he got back. Now, it does seem like we are going to be getting into some rather uncomfortable and not so great testimony. So I will try to be, breaking it up, adding some redonkulous stories. It starts...
Contents of the trash can.
Yes, we did.
And did you also go through the trash bags and those contents?
Yes, we did.
Okay. And without telling me what it is, did you find items that were considered relevant?
Yes, we did.
Okay. What do you do? What does law enforcement do when they find items that they consider relevant to an investigation?
We go through them systematically. We photograph them, number them, identify them by name, place them into, depending on what the item is, some type of evidentiary container, whether it's a bag, box, something of that sort, seal it up, and then determine what are we going to do with that piece. Are we going to place it in evidence? Are we going to send it to the lab? What are we going to do next?
Okay, and was that done with items in this case?
Yes.
One second. Okay. And before we get into the actual evidence itself, was a determination made to send some of those items to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation lab for analysis?
Yes, we determined to send some things to the lab.
Okay. If I could have item number 188.
Okay, y'all, I have figured out, and it has been bothering me this entire trial, and the The thing I don't like about Lady State Lawyer's voice, and I know this is such a random nitpick, but some women have the quality when they're talking, like there's an unsteadiness in their voice, like they're getting ready to cry. This woman has it in spades in some of the vocal tones that she uses, and it causes anxiety in me because I never like anyone to be upset or cry. So almost the way she speaks sounds like she's on the verge of crying. Notably, I think another person that did this was and look, the Karen Reed people case has so much lore, it needs a bigger binder than Dune. But the lady lawyer on the defense side for Karen Reed, she had the same kind of wavering, quavering, quality in her voice that just, look, I don't like people to be upset, so it just puts me on edge. So it has been bothering me this entire trial, and welcome to this detour on random stuff that doesn't matter that Mo just thought of.
Going to ask that you again put gloves on before we.
Put yourself between this and put it on that side. I've got a knife. Thank you.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, if you could just carefully open that item that's been passed to you.
Would you like me to take it out of the bag?
No, at this point, can you tell me what it is? Do you recognize it?
Yes, I recognize it.
What is it?
It is the trash can that was recovered at Muddy Creek.
Okay, and I'm asking you to speak a little bit closer into that microphone so we can catch it for the court reporter.
Let me answer again.
Yeah, if you can answer again.
This is the trash can we found that night at Muddy Creek.
Okay, and is that the actual trash can that was found that night?
Yes.
Okay, we'd ask that be made exhibit number 196.
And we, the people, ask that at the end of this trial, as whatever she's adjudicated as, can we please get that trash can so that we can burn it with holy fire and, make beautiful, beautiful art to put around Evelyn's real memorial? Can we do that? Can we each collectively get time with this trash can and a customary bat to beat the ever-living snot out of it, to show our rage at, the fact that it was a resting place for a precious baby? Could we possibly do that? I don't know why this is enraging me so much. Well, I know why it's enraging me, because it's absolutely horrific. But I'm just saying, I think it would be cathartic if we all got to beat the ever-living tar out of this trash can for science and catharsis.
Permission to publish to the jury, Your Honor. Agent Gratz, I'm going to let you now take it out and show the jury. And if you can, try to, while you're displaying that to the jury, continue to display it, but try to also speak into the microphone so we can hear. There appears to be black residue on that trash can. Can you tell the jury what that's from?
Thank you. Yes, this trash can has gone under what I would say a significant analysis at this point. This black residue is going to be from the lab in Nashville placing dust on it in order to identify any fingerprints. Further, if I can set it down, if you can take a look around the rim and see how it looks irregular, that's not the way it looked that night.
When you say irregular, are you talking about the notches that are cut out?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and you can see, there's tool marks where the lid of the trash can has been removed.
Okay, and so that is not how it looked when you took it into evidence that night?
Correct.
Okay. Are you aware of who took that off?
Yes.
Who took that off?
David Hoover at the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation Lab in Nashville. He's a forensic scientist special agent.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're done with that exhibit, and I'm going to pass you.
Okay, I would like to say, as a simpleton and a judgy judgerton, I was definitely gonna, go off like, like you'd taken a donut away from me. But I was gonna say, how can you get a white trash can that disgusting? Until he pointed out that they had to dust it for fingerprints. And yes, unfortunately, we are going to see a lot of the physical evidence today. I believe tomorrow is going to be the medical examiner. What I'm probably going to do is, depending on how I feel, leg wise, we will probably do day 6 tomorrow. But if today is really hard, we might break up day 6, because I know it's going to be the medical examiner, into smaller portions Sunday and Monday. We might revisit the Theodore Edgecombe trial on Friday, just to give ourselves a little break. Since we are already running on petty time, we might give ourselves permission to take this case slowly, because it is incredibly difficult.
The way it's done.
Pass to the next exhibit. Okay, do you recognize that item?
Yes, I recognize this.
Okay, and
This chair.
what is it?
This was a piece of gum that was removed from the inside of the trash can that I just showed you.
Okay. And was that also taken into evidence?
Yes, this was processed into evidence that night.
Okay, we ask that be made exhibit number 197, please.
197.
And permission to publish, Your Honor. May I please see exhibit number 18? Okay.
Absolutely, Denise Sells. The Petty Express has expressed and enforced its rights to take a petty break for the traumatic experiences and emotional damage endured on this leg of the trip. Absolutely. We can have detours. Very good.
I'm going to show you a photograph that's already been admitted into evidence as exhibit 18. I'm going to try to zoom in for you.
And welcome, Veteran Nation Raiders. We are on day 5 of the Tennessee versus Megan Boswell case. I do want to give you guys a warning. You are boarding the Petty Express. We deal with things with dark humor, sarcasm, and sometimes what you used to call gallows humor. However, never at the expense of innocent victims or people affected by garbage water humans, only really the garbage water humans. This is a kid case. This is about, unfortunately, the loss of baby Evelyn. She was 13 months old when she passed. the state is alleging it is at the hands of her mother. The mother is alleging that Evelyn passed away from possibly a unsafe sleeping habits or SIDS, and Evelyn was found upside down in a trash can. So we are getting into the more physical evidence of this case. As always, on the Petty Express, everyone is in the VIP section, but we encourage you to chart your own itinerary. If you start this, tour today and you think you can handle all the evidence, but decide you really can't, absolutely take a break, go watch cat videos, and if you can't come back to it, that is fine. For me, there is nothing worth, endangering your mental health. So, today's going to be a little bit rougher when, we are starting to get faced with the real evidence of, what happened to baby Evelyn. It's going to get rougher. We're here for each other. We try to be supportive. Don't assume anyone has, bad intentions. Again, this is a much more irreverent take on trials. So, what may sound like, a bit across the line to you might be someone else just trying to deal with the utter grossness and tragedy that is this case. So thank you for joining. Please like and, share this platform if you think someone else would like to watch trials aboard the Petty Express.
Okay. Do you see, and I know that's not the best zooming in, can you show the jury what you were just referencing for the exhibit we just entered?
This is the trash can that was inside the playhouse,
Okay.
and this is the piece of gum that we removed.
Okay.
No, just closer to the microphone if possible, right next to it. I would like to hear each individual cell of the paper crinkle. One of the commandments of court is that thou audio shall not pick up any testimony, but all of the ASMR of evidence opening. It is a law, it is a commandment. I didn't make the rules. We just live with them.
Hear that one open?
Yes, I have it
Okay.
open.
And are you able to recognize what that is?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What is it?
This is a black trash bag that was recovered from the trash can that night.
Okay. And was that also taken into custody and sent to the TBI lab for analysis?
Yes, this was.
Okay. If we could ask that be made exhibit number 198, please. Can I have number 18 one more time, screen? Permission to publish to the jury, Your Honor. You could take it out and you may want to stand up and show it to the jury so everyone can see it. Okay. And can you explain to the jury why parts have been removed from the bag that you hold? I believe you're holding up part of that.
Yes, I am. Again, similar to the trash can, this has gone or undergone significant forensic testing. You can see the powder of the residue that would have been done at the Nashville lab. There's insect debris that we found in or on this trash bag. And this is a cutout that was done at the Nashville lab.
Okay. And where was that trash bag found?
Inside of the trash can at Muddy Creek.
You can go ahead and try to put it back in, and then I'm going to show you the same exhibit number 18.
If you have ever tried to fold a trash bag, look, that shit is about as impossible as trying to fold a fitted sheet. Now, I have heard Martha Stewart has like the Harry Potter magic to fold them neatly. Now, being at the age where, I have given up the will to try to learn this, we do what is called a bundle and tuck and throw it in the linen closet. No, I will never be Martha Stewart. I'm not friends with Snoop Dogg to get the really good stuff to be, happy enough in my life to waste time folding fitted sheets. I don't have it. Southern Red Sox girl, you know what? I am glad there is someone that likes folding them. I mean, it does look really, really satisfying when I watch the YouTube video where they try to show me how to do, the thing with my arms, and I'm supposed to be able to do it. But I just end up like giving myself a black eye, hitting myself in the face, and wondering why I'm trying to fold laundry better. And I'm like, I never wanted to do that. In fact, my current life goal, y'all, now hear me out on this, since I don't want to think about the trash bag. But hear me out on this. I say we bring back TGI Friday. Just for us latchkey kids, like on a latchkey kid network. And every night it shows Sabrina, Family Matters, Family Ties sometimes, Step by Step, and Wonder Year, or no, Boy Meets World. Can I go back to the time where all of my problems were able to be quickly solved if I went through the library of Boy Meets World and Mr. Feeney would give me, a life lesson, and, Corey would do something dumb and Topanga would be smart, and then at the end, Mr. Feeney was always right? Can I go back to that world? I have found myself, maybe it's just needing to disconnect from trials, but I'm like, I am going back to a world where I would eat, mac and cheese only, just as a full dinner, and watch, TGIF Friday. I just need that to come back in my life. I need things to be simpler. So if you'd like to join me, I say we demand every night a latchkey kid, 90s baby network where, we get that, and then a store that has Dunkaroos. Thank you, you're welcome, I fight for all of us. I am ageless and ephemeral, but also I have seen some years. Southern Red Sox girl, you are a goddess, and I bow down to you.
The defense wants us to make, and we are not opposed to this, making the insect debris its own exhibit. 199, okay.
To be fair to the defense, the insect debris might very well need to be its own separate exhibit if they have maybe an etymologist that's going to come up and explain how maybe the bug larvae show that Evelyn wasn't there as long or was there as long. Now, I haven't skipped ahead, so I don't know what kind of case the defense put on, but it would make sense to me that, that would be separate in case they had an expert witness about bugs and bugology. Okay, I am a fan of the Ranger roll, though.
Okay. Back to exhibit number, what's been previously marked as exhibit 18. Can you tell us, is that the black trash bag that you were just referencing?
Yes, that's correct. That's the bag.
Sorry, I think I made that new.
Another goddess. I'm impressed. All right, no.
Okay, sorry. Do you have that open?
Yes, it's open.
Do you recognize it?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
This is a Dasani water bottle.
Okay. Where was that located?
It was with the trash that we located that night at Muddy Creek.
Okay. And did you also take that into evidence?
Yes.
And was that item sent to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation Crime Lab for analysis?
Yes, it was.
We'd ask that be made exhibit number 200.
We approve.
And we have sidebar, stop for sidebar. Oh, good lord. Keep it away from the microphone while they're on a sidebar, you muppet. Oh, why is this going to sound instead of time?
One
I
minute.
can,
200 for ID only.
welcome, Slinky. Hey, you'll catch up. It'll be great. Thanks for joining.
If you could pass that to the clerk, please. What's the next?
Okay, I'm probably going to get dinged for this, but this man looks like his facial expression, and I get it why he's upset. Okay. So, this is what he reminds me of, and I can probably only play 10 seconds of it. Well, or maybe a half second of it. Let me get it set up because I am only semi-pseudo-professional today. If you have not watched Enchanted or Disenchantment, it is a Futurama sort of spin-off. But basically, Mortimer the pig just rolls around these entire stairs saying, sad, I am sad. You know.
Very, 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 very.
So that's who he reminds me of. I completely understand why, he is upset, why this is incredibly difficult for him. But it reminded me of Mortimer the pig. So, in order to as astutely and completely sidestep the terribleness of this case, I was like, ADHD brain, squirrel engaged. Back from our detour. They should have a table for him to stand up and,
Okay, do you have that open?
Yes.
Okay, are you able to identify what it is?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what is it?
In this bag here, it has sheets of aluminum foil. It
Okay.
has some sheets that are by themselves, and there's a box where I had placed some sheets inside this box at a later time.
Okay, and where was that aluminum foil recovered?
It was inside the trash can around the victim's head.
Okay.
watch your ears. We are summoning someone. I mean, other than the fact that I think this chick would make Lord Chippy very, very sick, and, you know, he's a valuable member of the Petty Express family. This woman, I don't know if even her conversion of, you know, oxygen to carbon dioxide is that useful to me at this moment. And Lori Ann says, our bailiff is not allowed to sit. It would take too long from a sitting position to stop a person from attacking. Bless his heart. I don't think bailiff Mosey Meander is going to be our first line of defense. You know, I have a feeling, you know, bailiff Mosey Meander is going to be your 13th line of defense. But he will walk quickly-ish towards you. And yes, this is horrifying. Not only was Evelyn found in a trash can that already had debris in it, but she was covered in a blanket, so she really couldn't move her arms and legs. Her face was covered with aluminum foil to the point where there were indent marks in the foil around her facial features. She was then placed upside down, and another trash bag was almost shoved to the point of creating a vacuum around her. It is beyond words to even describe.
Your Honor, we'd ask that, well, and was that taken into custody by law enforcement?
Yes.
Okay, and was that sent to the TBI crime lab for analysis?
Yes.
We'd ask that be made exhibit number 201.
Before we take the bag and box, are you separating them or?
Agent Gratz, can you specify why the foil is in a bag and a box?
So there's the brown paper bag. It's inside this. There are sheets of foil.
In the bag?
Yes.
Is there anything else inside the box?
As far as I know, it's not been opened. I can open it up and look. Would you like me to do that now?
Yes.
What's in the box? What's in the box, man?
Yes, there is something inside this box.
Okay, so that bag, let me clarify, that bag was not inside the box? The bag of aluminum foil? I passed you a box.
Yes.
Okay, you opened it. What was inside the box?
There are sheets of aluminum foil in here.
Okay.
In addition to this box.
Oh, that's a separate box. I see.
Yes.
Okay, so for now, we just ask that the aluminum foil be made exhibit number 201.
Thank
That was
you.
inside the bigger box.
I apologize.
Oh, I'm sorry, the aluminum foil. That.
Now, if I was part of, oh gosh. If I was part of Raccoon City, I believe that would be the start of the T virus. I'm going to guess biohazard, and that needs to be sent directly into space. And touche, John Naylor, since the evidence speak volumes, do we need this mic? Probably not. I am trying to lower it as he is at his most crinkliness, his most fabulous crinkleness, his most ASMRness.
Okay, before we get to the small white box, can we have permission to publish exhibit number 201? Thank you. So you may need to stand. I'd just like the jury to see, for you to show them exhibit number 201, please.
Would you like me?
No, JKD Buck, this is still the state's case in chief. This is kind of where the rubber meets the road in most trials. We're getting into, I think, the last, we have all of day 5 where we're going to go through investigators and interrogations, and then the interviews that Megan gave to the television. And then tomorrow, day 6, I believe, is medical examiner day. Again, it will kind of be an executive decision to see if I'm able to do, any medical examiner testimony tomorrow, because I have heard it's heartbreaking. So we will do that. And then I believe day 7 is when the defense presented their case. So we are getting, again, this is more of the nitty gritty. This is where we're actually seeing the trash can, the trash bag, the foil. And I'm sure we're going to see the outfits that baby Evelyn had on and things like that. So this is going to be a hard day. Tomorrow is going to be, if we have it, have your emotional support beverage, danger floof, Beosaurus Rex, have that ready, because tomorrow is going to be hard if, I'm okay to do it.
To unfold these pieces.
Yes, please. Agent Gratz, was it flat and folded like that when you removed the item from the victim?
No, if you can remember from the photographs, part of this was formed around Evelyn's head, and part of this was sort of still stretched out. At a later day, we pulled it all out to do the measurements in the photographs that you also saw on Saturday. And then I folded it back up for evidentiary processing purposes.
Okay. You're going to be like the record reflect, he's showing a second piece of foil at this time.
All within the same time.
Yes. And we'd ask the record reflect, he's showing a third piece of foil.
These are various pieces that are essentially caked together.
Okay. We'd ask the record reflect, he's showing the jury smaller pieces of foil.
Now, I will take this time to point out that the defense's sort of theory or story or narrative of this is that, again, Evelyn passed of SIDS, and for whatever ungodly reason, now Megan is claiming that Hunter Preston, her boyfriend at the time of this tragedy, was the one to take baby Evelyn, place her in the trash can, and put her on her father's property. While that could be a narrative that maybe you could spin, there are some very damning things about how Evelyn was placed. Evelyn was placed head first with her arms already wrapped. Now the state contends that baby Evelyn was alive when she was placed in the trash can. Another issue that the defense is going to have to really explain or sort of negate away is that Evelyn's head, she was basically placed with such force that her head was forced in this unnatural position. Now, if you have just by yourself tried to do that with your head and you have any sort of sinus blockages, you will feel like you can't breathe. the medical examiner tomorrow, the state contends that the medical examiner can definitively say that baby Evelyn was alive. Now, I don't know how they're going to do that since there had been about 3 months of decomposition prior to them finding baby Evelyn. So I don't know what mechanism she's going to be able to, prove that by. And absolutely, Denise Sells, I do hope that the jury has access to mental health professionals, along with the first responders and, the court reporter, the clerks, everything. I'm sure that they've grown used to it, at least the court staff, but children's cases are incredibly difficult. And again, I am not a doctorologist. I am not a life guruologist, and I have not read Jody Hildebrand's book, so I am not an accelerated advanced life coach. I am just another human on a hot mess express, trying to, human correctly, be kind, and, keep this mouth under control. And I only do about one of those two things, consistently, which is being a kind human. My mouth under control is a whole other thing.
This is another piece that's wadded up with material.
You'll have to speak up for the microphone. Sorry.
This is another piece that's wadded up that has some material on it.
Material, what do you mean?
This is going to be a combination of human decomposition as well as trash that was in the trash can.
And that's the really heartbreaking thing. I mean, he wasn't saying anything, and I knew he probably was going to have to allude to that, but all of the pieces that are clumped up, that's part of it is because of the trash that was in there, and part of it was because they were close to Evelyn as she was decomposing. And defense, I'm sorry, it's just a bad fact for your client. What do you want them to do? Not tell the truth? Not tell them that this is, again, the coffin that, regardless of if Megan was a, grieving mother, as they claim, she still allowed her baby's final resting place to be a trash can in a pile of squalor in Coraline's Tim Burton reject, playhouse. So, miss me, spare me, please.
He was holding up another smaller wadded up piece of foil.
This is another small piece of foil. These are boxes that contain hair that was found on the floor.
Megan, sweetheart, come here to Mama Mo. I'm going to need you to pray that at least Jesus will be on your side, okay? 'Cause, yeah. As I have said from the full time, I am not unbiased in this. I absolutely hope the state proves its case. I do want Megan to have her full due process, but the concrete evidence of the horror, the loss. If you are a parent, if you are a mama and you have a little girl baby, you know that moment. I mean, okay, my girls, two of them came out with a little bit of hair. One of them came out bald until she was 3. But you know that wish and that hope when you're pregnant and you're going to put all the bows on and you're going to make the little ponytail. And all I'm thinking is that beautiful baby girl, who didn't even get, a chance to live, a chance to go to kindergarten and everything, with this, adorable, little shock of blonde hair. This little baby her beautiful little ponytail, that little bow right there. Well, stop being an absolute butthole, computer. I don't know what you're talking about. But that little hair ended up on foil. That beautiful, look at this. Oh, well, what the, you know what? I just don't like you. But look, that little ponytail right there, that cute little innocent baby ponytail right there. And as much as we want to search for answers, as much as we want, something other than mom got tired of her, mom was irresponsible, and mom wanted a man, which, seems to be the absolute motive, in my opinion, as a non-doctorologist. You want there to be a bigger reason. You want there to be some, sort of overwhelming reason, something that, you can understand, that you can rationalize. And unfortunately, sometimes evil is gonna evil. And it's not gonna have reasons. And we can just call this woman a mega thunder cahoot in hopes that the jury, sees the case as we do, that the state, proved everything they needed to prove, and that, there will be no appeals, and this family will get to try to piece their lives back together however they can. Oh, I'm so sorry, Lorianne. I'm not sure how many children cases I'm going to do, but if you send me the information to my email, I might be able to, do some videos on them. Again, for those of you who don't know, I'm a mom of 6. Momming's kind of been my main job for the last 17 years. Or no, 18. We just got to 18. So, while I enjoy giving Evelyn a voice and, being the voice for a lot of people who got, involved in this case, maybe we saw the Amber Alert, or maybe we saw Megan's, interviews, and we kind of got that little tickle in our brain, like something wasn't right. And it just feels like, since I've been following this since the beginning, it felt right to, see it to the end. So buckle in, let's continue. That just struck me as incredibly sad. Again, as a mom, I've made those little ridiculous ponytails that you have to fight with them to get on. And it's an incredible tragedy. I do wonder that too, Slinky.
Showed the jury, you said that was taken from with the foil.
Yes.
Okay, and that was taken into evidence.
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor, we'd ask that be made exhibit number 202.
That's the issue.
And what is it?
You asked.
Yes.
These are
Don't
two-
show it to the jury yet, please.
These are evidentiary containers that have been sealed up. Each individually is labeled hair from full.
Okay. Okay. If I could have exhibit 201 passed back to the clerk. Are you able to grab that white box?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to open it and see if you're, without showing it to the jury, and see if you can identify what is inside.
Yes, I can identify this.
Okay. What is it?
It is another piece of aluminum foil.
Okay. How many pieces of aluminum foil?
This is one piece.
Okay.
if I open it up, it may break apart.
Right.
Because it was sort of fragile or not a solid sheet by
Okay.
the way we recovered it.
Okay.
But it is one sheet.
Okay, and where was that recovered from?
This was around the head of the victim, Evelyn, inside of the trash
Oh,
can
here.
recovered at Muddy Creek.
Okay, and are there markings on that foil that were not performed by law enforcement?
There are markings on here that would have been done at the lab.
Okay, so that was sent to the TBI lab for analysis?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, we'd ask that be made exhibit number 203.
No objection. The full exhibit, sir, please.
Thank you.
Your Honor, permission to publish? All right, thank you.
Lady Tammy, throughout this whole trial, I've assumed she put Evelyn in the trash can that was already in the shed. I'm realizing she didn't. Evelyn passed at home and was taken there in a trash can. Yeah. Oh, please sign me up for LDS missionaries. I am going to. I need to ask a real LDS person if Mighty Morphin Mormons is a bad thing to put on Lori and dress her up as a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, only as a Mighty Mormon Power Ranger for her upcoming trial. I need to see if that crosses the line. I'm pretty sure it does, but I need official LDS, condemnation. That is a good idea. I will have to ask her. Ooh, Lady Tammy, awesome possum. You can use Mormon however you want because we don't recognize it as an approved term for our religion any longer. We only use LDS. I did not know that. So what, you know what? That is so would that be considered a not so great term then? I mean, I don't want to, look, I want to be offensive just to Lori, not to like everyone in a religion. So it's a fine line. I just want to bother Lori, which I do by just calling her Lori Vallow. I have never daybelled her in any of my speeches because I know it bothers her. So she is sans daybell every other, she's just, okay. I did not know that, Lady Tammy. I'm going to work on something for Lori, though. I just don't understand what a translated being is, but I have a whole book and books to read so I can understand things and not be so ignorant. Well, less-ish ignorant. Oh. Okay, he's just opening it. I will have to think.
Okay.
Okay, I
I
have it
don't
open.
know.
Okay, are you able to identify that?
I'll have to look further inside this bag.
Okay.
Y'all, it's not like Lori isn't cray-cray that my, redonkulous brain won't figure something to just offend her. I mean, let's be real. she is a font of things to ridicule. Just a magnificent font of absurdity, lust, which ew. I've seen, Chad Daybell. So again, ew, Lori, ew, ew. She is a font of things to make fun of. I mean, the loin fire alone. I do need to get ChatGPT to rewrite Chad's sexual novel, or I might be able to rewrite it myself. I do have some, look, my Kindle list needs Jesus, so I may have a little bit of, experience with the smuxy, novel.
Yes, I can
Okay.
identify this.
Okay. You said yes, you can?
Yes.
Okay. What is it?
This is the outfit that the victim was wearing that night
Okay.
when she was recovered.
Okay. And is there anything else other than the outfit?
And I'm going to pause here. As much as I have made fun of, Agent Everything is Awesome, I can't imagine being, one of the three people who found Evelyn. I can't imagine that. And then he is holding it together remarkably well. So thank you, sir, for again being professional, for helping tell Evelyn's story when she no longer had a voice, and for being strong. I can't imagine again, seeing that poor little baby that you worked for weeks to try to save, and knowing that, that was no longer going to be possible. So thank you for giving her dignity, for being a voice for her, and, for just being as professional as you can, because I can't imagine, look, I would be hysterically crying. I am not going to lie to you. So kudos to you, sir. And Betsy, get back to bed. Take care of yourself. I know that the flu is going around and all the yucky grossness. So take care of yourself. Rest if you need it. Life can wait. You get healthier.
I've made one fold over and there's some insect debris inside the bag.
Okay.
That appears to be everything.
Okay. One moment. May I approach the witness briefly? Make sure. Sit in a plastic bag. Okay. Can we approach?
John, absolutely no problem. To protect your mental health, guys. Honestly, I don't want anyone to stay longer than they have to. And I do have a little bit of a palate cleanser pulled up for after we see this. So I think you guys will appreciate that. Or at least I'm trying to make this more bearable, guys. This sucks all the donkey.
I don't remember what all.
Yes, this was found inside the trash can that night at Muddy Creek.
Okay, and did I ask you what it was?
I'm not sure at this
Okay,
point.
what is it?
This is like a fleece onesie.
Okay, and where was it found inside the trash can?
It was on the body of the victim.
Okay, we'd ask that be made exhibit number 204.
Go exhibit two.
Well, I'm sorry, we're gonna ask for permission to publish it.
Be very careful.
Be very careful. Try to leave it maybe on the butcher paper if you can. Thank you.
Do you want me to fold it back up?
Yes, please. And try to maybe seal it back up into the box if you can, the best that you can.
All right. That was heartbreaking. I think every parent remembers putting their kiddo in one of those, and they're so ubiquitous of childhood innocent and being a kid. But I think we need a little bit of a breather. Now, this is not, a dictatorship. The Petty Express is a sort of moocracy. So we are going to watch a little bit of Mr. Pancake, just to have a palate cleanser, have a little bit of a laugh. Again, the first intro is about the funniest ish ever, so I might clip that, and then we needed a Mr. Pancake detour. Oh,
Belly, Mr. Pancake!
let me backinate that.
Mr. Pancake, you're under arrest! Don't move! Get on your belly, Mr. Pancake!
On
In the name of the law, Pancake, get on your belly! Where are the gerbils?
Where are the gerbils? Please don't tell me you put a gerbil somewhere else.
Oh, God, there is a gerbil. There's multiple gerbils in his pants.
For your safety, is there a gerbil inside you?
In the early morning hours of July 9th, 2024, officers from the Columbus Division of Police in Hilliard, Ohio are called to action when alarms trigger in several local businesses, reporting break-in.
Oh, wait. We're going to go down to the takedown so that we can stay on the Speedish, the spirit of speediosity, which I sometimes don't resemble.
Mr. Pancake!
He is like full, like cartoon asleep. He's like, it's almost like you can see the little cloud dream bubble on top of his head. It is hilarious how dead ass asleep he is for having gerbils wandering in him, his Ugg boots, and just, okay, sir,
Mr. Pancake, you're under arrest!
Don't move!
Get on your belly! Get on your belly!
On your belly! On your belly!
Roll over! Get on your belly, Mr. Pancake!
On your belly!
In the name of the law, Pancake, get on your belly! What's going on? I got one
Wait,
for
did
you,
you say you broke the law? Now get on your belly, mister. In the name of the law. Oh my God. Okay, you guys, I think we need, in the name of the law, Pancake, get on your belly. I will start working on that t-shirt. If someone could DM me to remind me that I said this, because while the thought is right here, right now, future me is going to forget it. So if you guys would remind me, in the name of the law, Pancake, get on your belly, is definitely going to be a t-shirt. Because why not? With a hamster on the side, I think, or a gerbil. I'll make a cute gerbil with googly eyes, but we definitely need, in the name of the law, Pancake, get on your belly, a t-shirt endorsed by gerbils.
Pancake, get on your belly! What's going on? I don't want to be shitting me. What the? Give up your other hand. What the?
Other hand right here.
Yeah, cuffs. There's a lot of blood.
After subduing him, officers notice copious amounts of blood leaking from Matthew's wounded hands. But this is far from the most compelling piece of evidence they're about to uncover.
Knew we'd find him.
Good job, Mr. Pancakes.
Knew we'd find him eventually. Where are the gerbils?
Where are the gerbils? All right. In case nobody mentioned it already, you're under arrest. I think we did like 7 times. Go ahead and roll them on the side.
Mr. Pancake was like, well, I didn't figure you were the IRS because this auditing has gotten intrusive here lately. It would only be funnier if he, when the gerbils were shown, were like, those weren't mine, I was holding them for a friend. I mean, that's the only thing that... And his name really is Matthew Pancake, which... You know, if you're going to have the last name Pancake and you don't open an IHOP, why not just, go around in a Jaguar leopard onesie and put gerbils down your pants? I mean, that's what I would do if I didn't open an IHOP.
You got clothes on under this? There's the pink slash one.
They said he was taking them for arson yesterday.
Oh, there's something in this.
Yeah, what am I even arrested for? I was literally just walking around.
Okay. Grab your hand.
My hands, I've been working all day. I've been hating.
As Matthew offers weak excuses for the cuts, officers are closer to confirming what the witness had reported.
Right.
5439 Roberts Road, a copy. And is it okay for the medics to go in? I told him it was.
Yep, we haven't got done. The gerbil bandit.
I think I would get copyright struck, but if I made Lemmy Winks 25% different, I could just have Lemmy Winks, the pancake journey. We needed a Mr. Pancake, in the name of justice, pancake on your belly. We needed a break. Yes, Erica Thorpe, you got gifted a membership. I believe it was from... Okay. Well, I know I put it in here. You got from... no, not that one. Carrie Griffin? Sorry, my hands are not working. So you do have a tag. Now, whether I can read the tag, but you were gifted a membership this morning, I believe.
Is it glass?
Okay.
There's a dog collar.
The hell am I under arrest for? Seriously.
B&E.
Theft.
Criminal
He's like, I didn't know there was no law against concealed carrying a gerbil. Are you against the 13th Amendment? Are you against the 52nd Amendment, the right to carry gerbils, constitutionally, without a permit? Oh, well, I was talking about Lemmy Winks. So if I made the Mr. Pancake, t-shirt with a 25% different Mr. Lemmy Winks. For those of you who watched the South Park Mr. Lemmy Winks episode, I think we grew, we laughed, we lost, and Mr. Lemmy Winks, prevailed. But it was kind of like our Lord of the Rings.
damaging.
Oh, God, there's
Abusing animals. Oh, there are gerbils in there. Animal abuse.
What the heck? I got a gerbil. What the heck?
Multiple gerbils.
In the pants.
Multiple gerbils recovered.
Astonishingly, 2 live gerbils are recovered from Matthew's pants, and against all odds, they appear to be unharmed.
Yeah, we're just finding that our suspect has multiple gerbils in his hands.
Okay.
Somebody get my shears.
Do you have any more pets?
You have any more gerbils on you?
Please don't tell me you put a gerbil somewhere else.
Grab my shears.
For your safety, is there a gerbil inside you?
Is there a ghost gerbil on you? Are you concealing any more gerbils? Do you have an automatic assault gerbil on you? That's where I'm going with this. Yeah, just regular gerbil, non-regular gerbil.
Grab my shears and cut further up that pant leg.
Without a doubt, hunting for gerbils inside Matthew is the last thing any of these officers want to do.
And probably this one because there's...
This is why I don't write scripts. This is why I don't script things out, because if I had to read that last sentence, I would never not die laughing. This is why I wouldn't be able to use a teleprompter, because without a doubt, searching for gerbils, up in, Mr. Pancake was the last thing these officers wanted to do. Would be something I could spout off randomly, but if I had to read it, I would snort laugh so hard it would be disgraceful. But we have had our Mr. Pancake break. We can always come back to Mr. Pancake, and then, there are so many police body cam videos that we can look at for, palate cleansers. We can bring back, Hannah, our hopeful romantic, who took down an entire squad of cops. But let's get back to Evelyn. We've had our break, which was good. We needed it, but let's get back.
Can we pull it back up?
Oh, thank you.
Okay, let me ask you another item. Okay. Are you able to identify what is in that box?
There are several bags. Would you like me to go individually through each bag and open them?
1 moment. Do you see the bag that may contain a blanket?
Yes.
Okay. Could you look at that bag, please?
I'm going to go ahead and
Yes, open it and see if you can identify what it is.
I have it partially open and I can identify it.
Okay. What is it?
It is a fleece blanket.
Okay. Any other descriptive things that you can reference about that blanket? What does it look like?
So it's gray and white and has a like a running pattern through it.
Okay. And do you know where that was located?
Yes, this was inside the trash can.
Okay. And where was it located inside the trash can?
It was around the victim.
Okay. We'd ask that be made exhibit number 205.
Okay. Full exhibit 205.
Am I taking this out or putting it back in?
Just one minute. Permission to publish, Your Honor? Okay. Yes, if you could just show that to the jury, again with the same thoughts to try to be as careful as you can.
It was in this bag. Is there anything else?
Star, no, that was probably decomposition. The kindest way I can put that. That was probably, just regular decomp. Because that was the blanket that she was wrapped in. So, I mean, and it's sad, and I can't imagine the smell. I can't imagine, again, the trial makes it concrete. We get to see, actual evidence of what happened to this poor child. And, it's horrifying. It's horrifying. And, keep in mind that the jury during this time was sequestered. They could not go home to their families. This was such a high profile case that the judge decided to sequester the jury. So they basically had only each other to rely on and couldn't talk about the case until they started deliberating. I believe the only state that you can talk about the case prior to deliberating is my home state of Indiana. And I was thoroughly surprised when I heard that instruction when I was doing jury duty. So they have, yeah, unfortunately.
Like about 15. One stand, please.
Yeah. And what a really considerate and good judge to know that this is probably the worst thing that these jurors have ever seen. While this might be incredibly difficult, he's kind of grown calluses, but very good idea to let them have a break, to let them compose themselves. This is probably driven home more than anything, what happened. And, anyone with kids is going to need a little bit of a break. They did take a bit of a longer break. Again, that I think is just showing the courtesy of the judge and his real understanding of this is probably the worst thing that these jurors have had to see, the gallery has had to see, and it's just depraved. But you're right. Okay, you should be going, but you're not. JKD Buck, I'm a transplant. I was born in Virginia. Not that that gives, much better, not cousin brother sort of vibes, but, we try.
You may be seated, thank you.
I'm the one person in Indiana you're not related to, JKD Buck.
A few more questions. Prior to the time that Evelyn's body was recovered by law enforcement, had Tommy Boswell's property been searched?
Yes, there had been law enforcement on the property.
Okay. Was the playhouse searched prior to Evelyn's body being found?
No.
And can you tell us why?
We never had any reason to believe that would come into play, and I was aware that other law enforcement officers had been at the scene.
Okay. Anything that led you, and now I'm asking about the investigation in full, before and after Evelyn's body was found. Anything that led you to believe that her body had been moved to Tommy's property after the defendant had been moved to Tommy's property after law enforcement had already been there?
Oh, no.
Okay. 1 minute. Anything that led law enforcement to believe that Tommy Boswell was somehow involved in Evelyn's body being placed in that playhouse?
Objection, cause for speculation.
I can ask it in a different way.
It's the same form of question.
Based upon your full investigation, did anything pursuant to your investigation lead you to believe that Tommy Boswell was involved?
No.
Did anything in your investigation lead you to believe that Tommy Boswell knew that Evelyn's body was in that playhouse?
No.
Okay. Ethan Perry.
And I will say, if you didn't watch the full trial or the testimony of Tommy Boswell, I was paying very close attention to it because Tommy Boswell was one of several people that the defense named as particularly shady, forces in Megan's life that could have, after she had suffered the accidental passing of her daughter, hidden her body for her. Now, the defense did make really good points about, kind of these sort of things until you dig deeper, it seems a little sus. So it, seemed a little sus until we until we got more information why the entire property of, Tommy Boswell wasn't, searched right away. Well, kind of back piece to this story is that, Tommy Boswell and Megan Boswell are part of the, traveler community. Travelers are closely associated with Irish travelers and Roma gypsies are different flavors. Look, I only know enough about what trash TV has told me about traveler or Roma gypsy sort of, culture. But they are typically very cut off, very insular. They don't typically interact with gorgers or regular people, not, travelers. So, Tommy might have been very specific about where he wanted, the investigators to look on his property. He might have said, no, you can't look here, but you can look here. So he might have been very detail oriented as far as where they could search. And then Tommy Boswell calling, the cops 7 or 18 days into the investigation, somewhat out of the blue, the story that he did tell was very, convincing. And I encourage you to go back and watch it. Now, he is rough around the edges. He, is kind of, he's definitely who he is. No, so 8 passengers are part of the LDS Church. Irish travelers are more, I know it's more of a pejorative term, but gypsies, Irish travelers tend to hail from Ireland, duh. And then Roma gypsies are a different flavor, but it's people that in Europe, they tend to live in caravans or, trailers and things like that. In America, it seems like there was a lot of settlement along Appalachia of travelers. So, it's just a bit of a different culture. But he is rough around the edges, but he did actually come across as very genuine, very there just for Evelyn, and a man who is really trying, like all the rest of us, to grapple with the reality that his daughter probably had a hand in the reason that Evelyn, his granddaughter, is no longer here. So I encourage you to watch that testimony. I think he came across as, again, a person who's had a past, might be rough around the edges, but definitely came across as genuine, authentic, and really genuinely cared about both Megan and Evelyn. So that is why they're bringing up Tommy Boswell. They're also going to bring up Ethan Perry, the young man that Megan tried to pin Evelyn's paternity on. And then her boyfriend at the time of the incident, Hunter Preston, she's going to claim that all of them had a part in either placing Evelyn's body where she was found, or, if the jury doesn't believe that it's an accident, then they might have had nefarious sort of doings.
Did he fully cooperate with law enforcement?
Yes, Mr. Perry cooperated.
Was Ethan Perry fully investigated?
Yes, he was.
Was Ethan Perry eliminated as a suspect in this case?
Yes, Mr. Perry was eliminated.
Was law enforcement able to determine that the story Megan Boswell told law enforcement about Ethan having Evelyn was a lie? That's a lot of words. I mean, ask this in a different, less wordy way. Do you recall the story that the defendant gave you about Ethan Perry?
Yes, I recall that.
What did she tell you about Ethan Perry initially?
The defendant told us that Ethan Perry had
I'll just shorten this for the words that you have to say. Heifer done lied. Again, during the initial part of the investigation, if you are new to this case, Megan Boswell claimed that Ethan Perry, the potential dad of Evelyn, had Evelyn when she was initially asked where she was. Now, there's a little hiccup in this, theory because Ethan was either in basic training or advanced individual training with the Army. He was living in group housing in barracks. He had no place to, abscond and, place a 13-month-old. So that particular scenario was quickly sort of, abandoned by Megan and TBI and all of the investigative bodies because both military investigative bodies and state and federal investigative bodies thoroughly searched Ethan, the barracks, the surrounding areas of the base, and Evelyn was not there, and there was no proof that Evelyn had ever been there.
Evelyn Boswell.
Okay. And again, when you're looking at your investigation as a whole from beginning until the end, were you able to determine whether or not what the defendant told you about Ethan was the truth?
Yes, we were able to determine whether that was true.
Okay, what was your determination?
It was not true.
Okay. The defendant's boyfriend at the time, Hunter Wood, did he cooperate with law enforcement?
Yes.
Was Hunter Wood investigated?
Yes, he was investigated.
Was Hunter Wood eliminated as a suspect?
Yes, he was.
Anything at all that led you to believe that Hunter Wood was involved in Evelyn's death and or disappearance?
No.
Angela Boswell, the defendant's mom, and her boyfriend, Will McLeod, did they both cooperate with law enforcement?
Yes, both Angela Boswell and William McLeod cooperated.
Were they both investigated?
Yes, they were both investigated.
Were they eliminated as suspects?
Yes, both of them were eliminated.
Do you recall what Megan Boswell told you about Angela or Angel, her mom, at the beginning of the investigation?
At the very beginning, or
What did she tell you about her mom?
well, after a few days into the investigation, the defendant told us that Angela had Evelyn Boswell.
Okay. And based upon the entire investigation, were you able to determine whether or not that was the truth or not?
We were able to determine whether that was true. Yes.
Okay, and what was your determination?
That was not true.
Is there any individual that the investigation continued to point at?
There was one individual.
Okay, who was that?
It was the defendant.
Okay. Please answer any questions the defense has for you.
Now, again, that really does kind of put the nail in the coffin of the defense's case, because another one of their main contentions was that police put blinders on. As soon as Megan reported Evelyn missing, they basically didn't look at or didn't, investigate any other leads. Well, she's just gone over multiple leads. And there's Hurricane Megan left just an enormous swath of damage. She didn't care. She has so many, ancillary victims. It's incredible. She has, Ethan Perry, who she lied and said was Evelyn's father, had to go through all this turmoil and then grieve the daughter that he thought he had when she found out she had passed, only to find out he was not, in fact, the father. You have Hunter, Woods, who is now currently in a medical facility, possibly, dealing with the onset of schizophrenia, possibly triggered by the trauma of having everyone in his hometown assume on Megan's word only that he was a child unaliver. You know, you have the woman, Ethan Perry's grandmother or great grandmother, but I believe grandmother, who was in hospice at the time that Evelyn was missing. And Megan kept promising this woman who was battling every day to stay alive to see this baby before she passed. She kept promising to bring Evelyn over. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever been around someone who's in the final stages and term, you know, palliative care with cancer, but they are just ate up with pain. And I can imagine this woman just battling like a warrior every day to see a baby that's never going to come. And I'm sorry, but there is some sort of extra level of hell that involves just 100,000 Blake Lively's and Amber Heard's and Daryl Brooks that you just have to wade through, in my opinion, for that kind of evil. Because she didn't just have Evelyn. She had her father, who she's now accused. She has her mother she's accused. She's had 2 different men she's accused. You know, the people that searched, every single first responder that put their life on hold for 18 days, 24/7. And, you know, the defense wants to bring up that she might have had to have an interrogation or an interview past 12 o'clock because these people were desperately trying to find her daughter. I'm sorry, miss me with the fake sympathy, because I don't have any for Megan. Because I think any parent would tell you that if your child was missing, I don't care if it's 3 o'clock, I will, you know, drink as much energy drinks as you need. I will tell you anything to get my kid back. And she was like, can I go home now? Like, I'm exhausted. So I definitely think he has been a good witness. Again, Special Agent Gratz, we appreciate your professionalism, your giving Evelyn a voice and dignity, and your Lego hair. Now, the defense is probably going to come out swinging because this testimony has just put
How are you?
Good morning, I'm doing fine.
a pretty big blow to a lot of pillars in their case.
Fine, how are you?
Good.
Thank you.
I'm going to start kind of where Miss Massengill left off. She asked you about.
Y'all, have we gone through this entire trial and lady lawyer from the state, her last name is Massengill? Dear Lord, I said I was going to be a better Christian this year, and then you keep throwing me the name like Massengill. You are tempting me to evil, and I'm over here trying to be good, and you know how I am, and then you put the name Massengill in here. I'm going to need to excuse myself while I snort, laugh, and take a bio break. Holy God.
Clearing certain suspects.
Correct.
And she used words and asking you about Hunter Wood, if there's anything at all about him that caused you all to disbelieve him as not being a suspect. In other words, y'all conclusively concluded he's not a suspect.
We did after we investigated him.
Okay. And as part of that investigation, I'm sure, did you collect his DNA?
No, I did not.
Matter of fact, he refused his DNA to law enforcement, didn't he?
I think at some point he did.
Okay. So his DNA cannot be compared with any of the DNA where the body was found.
That would be a question better answered by the lab personnel. As
You were the case agent. You know what it was.
I'm sorry.
You were the case agent.
Yes, I was.
As the case agent, you're basically in charge of the case. You give directives about what to do and so forth.
Maybe not quite that far, but I am the lead investigator for the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation.
Okay. And do you know if his DNA was processed against anything? If you know.
No.
You don't know, or it wasn't?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was not.
Okay. Did you obtain fingerprints from him?
I'm almost certain I collected his standard of fingerprints, yes.
Okay. And you say you're almost certain, do you know for sure or not?
I think I collected them from the booking at the jail, when someone's booked into jail.
Okay, so
their fingerprint.
He'd been arrested for something before, is what you're saying?
Yes.
At the time of the investigation, were you aware that Mr. Wood was schizophrenic?
No.
Did you look into that at any point during this investigation, his mental health?
At a much later date.
And did you all investigate any connection between people with schizophrenia and people that tinfoil hats?
Okay, I find this deeply gross. I get what he's doing as a defense attorney, but here's my problem with this. I have no doubt that Megan is going to use her mental health as a mitigating factor. And then to go after, Hunter Wood because he has schizophrenia? Are they really trying to throw tinfoil hats in here like he is? Dear tiny baby Jesus and the YouTube gods, I am over here. It is not even 3 hours in, and I want to weave a tapestry of FUs and cursey words to this defense that would be epic and possibly channel nuking. Please help me save my mouth because this defense is testing the Jesus in me. Amen. The absolute unmitigated gall to use someone's mental health against them when you thoroughly intend to, use your mental health as a shield. And KLF, I mean, I can see it, tinfoil around her head and all, but Hunter never met Evelyn. Yes, there is a big issue with that. Again, the defense only has what their client gives them to work with. Megan has probably told them up, down, left, right, and center that she never did this. And it was all, Hunter or Ethan or, the one-armed man, ninjas that did it. So while I do wish that they had gotten Hunter's DNA, the fingerprints are there. And if he never saw her and you can, prove that, then you don't need his DNA. His DNA would probably be present because they were living together. It is also a gross simplification of what schizophrenia is. Schizophrenia isn't, you can't boil it down to just, tinfoil on, guy on the street corner. And so as much as I hate, we can be irreverent, but there's a reverence and then there's grossness like this. And to have pulled out tinfoil hat is just, it's a bridge too far for me. I don't know if I were a defense attorney, I would have gone down this route. I think that it makes Megan look, again, like she is passing the buck, like she will never take responsibility. Again, we've got this narrative of she was a great mom. No one saw her do anything mean to that, baby, except for old best friend, new enemy, laser eye girl who basically called her out for ditching her baby for a man. It's just optically, it's not good. And as a juror who has battled their own mental health things, and I think if you have any juror that has battled mental health or even has a family member who has battled schizophrenia, I do think that this is maybe not the route to go down.
Mr. Grimes, we were talking about Hunter Wood,
Yes.
and you indicated that sometime later you become aware that he was schizophrenic.
I knew he was having some mental health issues. I'm not sure that I knew the actual diagnosis, but I am aware of issues.
Did you investigate his health issues in relation to this case? And for instance, what I'm asking is, the first time I asked you about schizophrenia, you seemed to indicate that you knew that.
I knew he had some type of mental health issues, yes.
Did you investigate, give consideration to the possibility that the tinfoil could be related on the baby, could have been placed there by someone with mental health issues.
We did a significant investigation into the tinfoil, yes, and it underwent what I would call significant forensic analysis to determine whether there is any type of DNA or fingerprints on that on the tinfoil.
Okay, but short of forensic analysis, did you all investigate, is there something that might make someone place tinfoil on a child? Like, for instance, people with schizophrenia are known to wear tinfoil.
No, they're not. People, this is the worst caricature of mental health that I've ever seen, and I cannot believe they are going with this. I cannot believe the defense continues to go with this. This is beyond offensive. And I hate that because generally I feel like I have my penny problem glasses on because I rarely get fired up on offensive things. I rarely, use my voice because I'm not the internet's hall monitor. I'm not, anyone's mom or teacher or God's, hall monitor. So say what you want to say, but absolutely, I have said it before and I will say it again. This defense is the most crass, tawdry, and just absolutely rude I have ever seen. And not in their tone, not in the arguments they choose to make. I will say that in his speech, in his words towards most witnesses, he has been cordial. I am talking about the arguments they are choosing to make. To equate Megan to a Sid's death parent is utterly, utterly awful. To have put forward in your opening statement that because the state had said basically at the end of their opening statement, you are here to speak for Evelyn and you can do this for Evelyn. And the defense attorney basically said, Evelyn is dead, so whatever you guys do here isn't going to do squat for Evelyn. Now, I am paraphrasing, but that basic concept did come out of his mouth.
Pads. I think we covered it.
Also, photo lady, you make a good point. He is, not a psychiatrist, not a psychologist. So what is his, experiential, background in what people with schizophrenia tend to do? Again, this is like a cartoon caricature of what people with schizophrenia do. If he is defense is trying to turn the Betty train down the spur of stereotypes as seen on TV. White Rabbit, schizophrenia makes you scared and paranoid, but it doesn't make you violent. You're liable to hide and bawl rather than hurt anyone. Mental illness doesn't make you evil. Evil makes you evil. Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't imagine the hell of being locked in my brain afraid of a shadowy thing that I can't fight, afraid of monsters and shadows that aren't there. I mean, instead of, basically using it as the punchline of a joke like he's doing, like the tinfoil hat, try to imagine a prison in which everywhere you go, you think people are watching you. You think, you're hearing voices and they're not nice. They're generally never nice voices. It's a hell, not a joke, not a punchline. And this lawyer is so woefully ignorant and stupid. Again, if you don't know anything about something, then keep your mouth shut. If you didn't do even cursory research into what schizophrenia entails, if you didn't even look at the DSM-5, then don't comment on it. How to turn everyone in America on you in 15 seconds. Continue trying to push this bullshit.
And whoever placed the 10.
All right, objection sustained bar, overruled the bar.
Agent Gratz, did you investigate any connection between mental health and whoever placed the tenfold on this child?
I'm not aware of any theories of like mental health issues is concerned with tenfold, so nothing specific like that was ever investigated. Does that answer your question?
To your knowledge, did anyone in your prosecution team do that?
As far as mental health issues and tenfold hats?
Yes.
Not that I'm aware of, no.
So going back to Hunter Wood, you said he declined to give you his DNA.
Not me. I don't remember ever having many face-to-face interactions with Mr. Wood, and I don't recall that it was me that asked for
But
it.
he did decline to give it to law enforcement.
I believe so at some point.
So that wouldn't be 100% cooperative with the investigation, would it?
You don't have to give anything over to the police. Legally, you can tell them to screw themselves. Possibly through a lawyer, maybe not through an origami, middle finger, if you will. But, through a lawyer, you can tell them to go pound sand. And again, he was not the main suspect. Now, I can understand them for elimination purposes getting his DNA, but if they didn't have the probable cause to demand it and they were only asking for it, then, he has the right to say no, just like Megan's not going to testify. There's certain rights you have.
I guess it depends on how you look at it. I think that could be answered as a yes or no.
Let's go back to the investigation at the Boswell property.
Okay.
And as a case agent, I assume you're aware of what searches were conducted when and the results thereof.
Generally speaking, there are a lot of moving parts, and in an investigation this large, with this many agencies involved, I did my best to really maintain a clear chain of information and make sure everything that was happening was being documented on paper, memorialized in some type of form, and brought back to me or to someone who would later bring it to me to put it in a file.
Okay. And Tommy Boswell's property was searched on February 23rd, is that correct?
If that specific date, I would have to go back and look.
Do you have something that would refresh your memory as to that? Do you have notes?
In the case file, yes.
Is that something you could easily access?
Relatively, it might take a moment to look through.
Judge, I'd ask to refresh his memory with his notes.
You want me to?
Can he sit down and get those?
Can you give me that date one more time, please?
February 23rd.
Thank you.
Oh. I guess he's on the microphone, but I would ask for any other date it was searched as well. Okay.
Jim, I can do this and work everything. So I'm trying to.
I muted myself because I was typing, and now I've been talking to myself, but no problem. We are here. Thanks, you guys. For the first time, I actually did it on purpose, and my boob didn't do it. It's a Christmas miracle. her hair is getting, again, I understand having her hair down. It does make her look younger, and they are pushing, the angle of she was a young and, overwhelmed, stressed out mother. She didn't have the life experience to know what to do when her infant suddenly passed away. So it does play into that. The problem is that, again, you are kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't, as a defendant in a child case. If look like you're too into the case, you're trying to be a lawyer. I will say that I don't know how, and I don't think the defense will be able to engender any modicum of sympathy for her. Again, your past is not an excuse to be a dick to other people. Plenty of people have not so great childhoods and horrific childhoods, and they choose to stop that with them and be a shield and not let that happen to anyone else. Megan, you had a perfect opportunity to give your daughter a life that was better than the chaotic one that you had. You were given, your own trailer, you were getting utilities paid, you were getting everything for free. You had a chance to go back to school, to, yes, you have a daughter, but you also could have, made that life the better life that you never had. Instead, you chose to give it up for, a potential relationship with, Chicken Shack guy, Junior. Just absolutely gross. I will never understand it. And maybe you can become best friends with Susan Smith and write a book about why the hell you did the evil, gross things you did. I'm not going to buy it. I mean, I'll do a dramatic read of it. Those are closer to BCG, birth control glasses from basic training, so I do feel better that she's wearing birth control glasses now. Well, close to it.
Mr. Gratz, have you had a chance to review your notes, refresh your memory?
Yes, I did.
Was a search conducted of Tommy Boswell's property on February the 23rd?
Yes, it appeared that after looking at my notes that Mr. Boswell Sr. had given written consent and permission for law enforcement to search his property.
Yeah. And you recall who searched the property?
Yes, that there were a team, or was a team there. There were members of the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office present, as well as at least one member, or I suppose two, of the Union County Sheriff's Office. And that would be Union County, Tennessee.
And a cadaver dog searched the property that day and provided no hits. Is that correct?
According to the report.
Would the report would be correct to the best of your knowledge?
I would have to defer to the officer that conducted that to those that were present.
Is your report, Ms. Gratz, IR 115?
Now, this seems to be a case of multiple agencies were involved in this. So he is the agent overhead of, I'm guessing, the TBI, whereas I'm sure the, investigator in charge of the Sullivan County, Sheriff's Office is going to have a more fulsome knowledge of what happened during that canine search. This is sort of a gotcha thing. He is asking someone from an entirely different agency where they just basically get condensed summaries of what the other agencies are doing, details about this. Now, while in, a perfect world, this agent would be able to, compile and amalgamate an entire case file across multiple agencies, he can't. He has the report. He probably read the report when he was compiling everything else. Oh, cool beans. Oh, that means I need to buy all the jelly beans before he outlaws them. For the rapture. And just kidding, I know he's not going to outlaw jelly beans. He's just going to make me do push-ups to have them. And to be fair, probably need to move more. But that's kind of a gotcha thing, at least in my opinion. And if I am a juror and because I know more about trials, I'm going to spot that. And that's something that I think you start to spot when you watch a lot of trials is sort of these little tricks that, both sides will use to kind of shade the testimony in the way they want the jury to observe it.
Is David Gratz. You agree with me about that?
Yes, correct.
So you would have recorded the information you were provided by the team, whether or not the dog hit, correct?
My report essentially reflects that there was another report issued. So the other report was issued by the Union County Sheriff's Office.
And I think he did a good job of kind of subtly, again, very professionally throwing no shade, which I would. I would be all the shady, which is why I probably wouldn't be a great professional witness. He did make a point to say, no, my report is basically there was a report made by the Union County Sheriff, so talk to him. So it does redirect the jury to, okay, we'll probably hear from the Union, detective.
On February 21st was a search done of the Boswell Trailer Park on, I believe it's Sugar Hollow Road.
Yes, I believe a team had gone out there.
And were cadaver dogs taken that day?
I know they were taken at some point. The specific day, I'm just not sure.
You don't remember?
No, I don't. I do know they were taken out there.
Would your report from that day refresh your memory?
Absolutely.
This is the tedious part of trials that absolutely gets my squirrel brain absolutely just irritated. Again, his report is just going to reflect that another locality did a thing. Just absolutely, this defense attorney has just irritated the Southern hospitality that I rarely show, out of me. Again, my 90s cynicism inoculated me on, over friendliness.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ms. Gratz, that report indicates that property was searched on February 21st, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
It also, does it indicate that 3 cadaver dogs were taken around the trailer of Megan Boswell?
And that's the property at
Sugar Hollow.
Sugar Hollow Road.
Report I just showed you.
Yes.
And does it also indicate that there were no final responses?
Thank you, Bobby Baloney. But I also want you guys to remember the absolute corroditated dumpster trash fire that Megan Boswell's trailer was. So depending on when they took the cadaver dogs, and I do believe they took the cadaver dogs out to the trailer, after he had already had to take the trailer essentially down to its I-beams. Megan had left that trailer so incredibly filthy that even the subflooring was infiltrated with grossness. So, it is just absolutely disgusting. And Goosey Bumps said, foster mom said when Megan came to her at 17, her hair was so matted she had to cut it off in a bob. The lice took a month to get under control. She should know how to take care of herself. Yeah. Bobby, honest to goodness, it is snowing / raining here, so I am trying to remember things or say things exactly as I remember them because I'm afraid that I get lost in tangents. So okay. KLF, this was 2 months after Mr. Feller. So this was 2 months after the trailer had basically been taken down to its I-beams. There would probably be nothing left. I mean, dogs are incredibly incredible. I love a good doggo. But you know, it is very possible that they could have smelled nothing because nothing was left of that original trailer. And depending on if, you know, the stroller came into contact with Evelyn at that time, there might not be any smell there. So I believe the stroller was the only thing left behind that Austin Feller didn't throw out into like the dump. Well, Austin Feller was kind of very tangential. He was hired by Tommy Boswell, or he was working with Tommy Boswell, and he was given the trailer basically free and clear for a couple months if he would do the work to get it back rehabbed and ready to rent again. Okay, Indiana would like to apologize. We have been trying to take over the world with high fructose corn syrup. You guys have found out our plot. RFK is going to stop it, and we're all going back to cane sugar. Yay!
Just from the cadaver dog search.
It does.
I want to go back to Hunter Wood's fingerprints that you obtained from the jail.
Okay.
Did you obtain palm prints or just fingerprints?
It would be the standard prints they take, which I think are what we would refer to as major case prints.
Could you explain that, please?
Sure. It's a small standardized document that
JKD Buck, my house might get fully clean. I might never sleep again, but my house is going to be sparkling. You know, I'll be able to fit in all of my new 50s frocks without a girdle. It'll be great. I approve.
has a box for each finger of each hand. And I think at the bottom, there's an area for some larger, like a box area for larger parts of the hand to be fingerprinted. And they are filled out, depending on the department, either in ink or electronically.
And do you know one way or the other if Hunter Wood's palm print was taken?
I would have to look at his major case or his prints to determine that.
Okay. Are you also aware there was a palm print on that trash can where Evelyn was found?
I would have to defer to forensic scientist David Hoover for that.
You're unaware of that?
I
know there was prints found on the can. I am aware of that to say.
Also, and to his credit, to Agent Gratz's credit, he has retired from this case. If you've noticed as you've been watching to this case, and someone observant in chat noticed, a lot of these senior detectives have gone on to different jobs. They have retired in the intervening years. And, you know, I can imagine that there was a large spate of retirements after this case. This case had to be incredibly hard. So most of the senior deputies, sheriffs, investigators on this case have moved on to either retirement or a different job. So he does not look as prepared and polished as he probably did when he was working these cases. There are probably things he does not want to remember about this case, you know. So while he doesn't look the most prepared, I do want you guys to keep that in mind.
Palm print versus fingerprint, I'm not sure.
Okay. Could I approach court reporter, please?
Stay away from Grandma, sir. You annoy me, and she's awesome. I want none of your douchey vibes around Grandma.
This is Exhibit 17.
Flip. There you go.
You recognize that photo?
Yes, I do.
As I understand it, you were the photographer on scene, and
Yes, that is correct.
so did you take this photo?
Yes.
Is that where the trash can was when you all entered the building?
Yes.
I see in the top of that trash can, it looks like there's a white trash bag and a black trash bag. Can you see that?
Yes.
The black trash bag, was it fully removed in there? Did you fully remove it from the can in there?
Oh, we removed everything.
Inside of the building? Inside or outside?
I'm not sure what you're asking me.
Well, I think we've seen pictures here that show stuff being removed from the trash can outside. What was removed from the trash can inside of the building?
Look, every single one of my pain doctors is an agent Gratz. So you have to be extremely specific and pedantic about what you are talking about. So what the lawyer should have said is, was the trash can inside or outside when you removed anything? Was anything removed while the trash can was inside of the shed? What this lawyer asked was, I know there's things inside and outside of the shed and then in the trash can, so did you take them out inside or outside of the trash can or outside? Again, a person like this who is very literal, logical, your typical engineers, it is imperative that you are very clear about what you're asking or saying, because if not, they kind of go into buffer mode because they don't know what you want.
The best I can remember, like, there were the part of those bags would have been moved back, which is when we initially saw that skin. Is that what you're asking me?
Yes.
Yes. So part of that would have been disturbed, moved, however you want to characterize it. And when we saw what we believed was human flesh.
And that black trash bag, was it at some point taken out of the can inside of the building?
Was it taken out of that can while it was inside the
Yes.
playhouse? I want to say we removed all of that after we had set the trash can out on the porch.
I'll show you what's been marked as Exhibit 15. The black trash bag appears that it's been moved.
Yes, we moved those bags.
Okay, is it your testimony that you could see around the trash bag in that condition to see the body?
Yes, if you're on this side, you absolutely... Okay, now the lawyer is being pedantic and stupid in another way. He's like, but look, there's a big trash bag in there. You can't see. I swear. And then the person has to say, yeah, if you look on the other side, we could totally see it. The defense attorney is basically implying that they started higgledy-piggledy just throwing things, again, in an effort to, conspiracy against Megan. This defense attorney just is the worst. And I thought Owens was bad, but he annoys me more than Owens, which I didn't think was possible. I didn't think another human being could annoy me just as much as, or if not more, than Owens. But I found him.
When you're standing above it, you could see part of the body, yes.
So that bag, it wasn't taken out and placed back, is what I'm asking. Was it taken out and placed back in the can?
Was it like totally removed from the trash can and then pushed back in there?
Or set back in there like that?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Is it possible?
Yeah, sure.
What about the other bag, specifically the bag containing?
It's also possible that one day I'm going to wake up and look like Halle Berry from Catwoman circa 1999. I mean, there's always a possibility, but I have a greater chance of being left behind in The Rapture with Nicolas Cage and forced to do more tribulation movies with him. So yeah, it's possible. Oh, sorry, rant over. It's just this lawyer. This is why I'm not a witness, because before my filter could engage, I would have answered just like that. And contempt of court, thy name be Mo, and thy face also be Mo.
The body, is it possible that it was moved somewhat in the can by your all's investigation?
Not until we were really out there processing that. As you could tell from the photographs, when it was first removed, it still really had that shape of the can.
Did it move at all?
I'm sorry?
The bag with the body, did it move at all in the can while you were going through it and moving it?
We were systematically pulling things out of there. So, at some point, the bag certainly moved.
Okay. The bag with the baby.
Yes.
You went through some photographs with various items in the trash can here, I think Saturday we were going through it.
Oh, yes.
Do you recall the contents? Oh, let's ask you this way. There were no leaves in the trash can, were there?
Leaves?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
None at all?
No.
I'm guessing, so that, if it looks like a tiny version of Coraline's house, then that is the playhouse. If it looks like a shed with an explosion of trash in it, that is the storage shed and not part of a house.
Is it going back to the fingerprints at Hunter Woods? You said you obtained those from the jail.
I'm fairly certain that I went to the booking area and obtained his prints, yes.
Was that here from the Sullivan County Jail?
Yes.
And you know which arrest that was from?
I do not.
This is no. Hell no, hell no, 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 no. I am going full honey badger. I'm going full mama bear honey badger. Look, I'm gonna take up my look. Now I hate this chair. I love that Mr. Moe let me use his chair, but I absolutely hate it, and it is the devil. Because I am not super tall, so everything is just, he got the XL one, so it just doesn't seem to work. How dare you? Again, he has unequivocally said that Hunter Wood is not a suspect in this case. Now, unless you have bombshell evidence that Hunter Wood did this, then how dare you bring up his criminal history? I'm guessing Megan has some stuff in her past she doesn't want known. But to, again, a person who cannot defend themselves, nothing ticks me off more than bullying someone who cannot defend themselves. And you know what? If Hunter Woods ever gets to the point where he can, shed some light on this case and he wants to do that, that's fine. If they find evidence that he was in any way connected to this, then they can bring a case against him. But until that date, Evelyn Boswell, not Hunter Wood, is on trial. And it is incredibly infuriating that this defense attorney can bring in all these other names and Richard Allen couldn't bring in anyone. And yes, I am still absolutely steamed about that case. But detour over. Let's continue. Let's get annoying man over quickly-ish.
That's all the questions I have, Judge.
Woohoo! God answered my prayers.
Yes, Your Honor. How many interviews of what we call lay witnesses do you think were conducted during this investigation?
More than I could sit here and count. I mean, there were a lot. A lot of people were interviewed. Several witnesses were interviewed multiple times.
Okay. More than 20?
Yes,
Okay. More than 30?
probably.
Okay. And at the same time, you're conducting an investigation with law enforcement, is that right? Law enforcement is conducting a full
Oh,
investigation.
absolutely, yes.
And I think I asked you this on Saturday. Do you feel like you followed every credible lead that you could?
We followed everything that came in.
Out of every person that was interviewed, did any say that they ever saw Hunter Wood with Evelyn Boswell?
Objection, Your Honor, the officer.
Just name.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Photo lady, yes, and I just need I made the choice to not get into that until I have my full office back so I can be really organized because there's so much coming out. But let's get back to the case.
All right, no other questions, Your Honor.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Is this witness free today?
He is, we would ask that he stay under.
I'll ask you, subject to recall, and he gets to get back to work on it, I'll ask you, subject to recall.
Mr. Direct, you're going, not being released from the subpoena, you're still subject to recall. You don't have to stay here at the courthouse, just so long as we can get all done.
Thank you.
I'm assuming you take the prosecuting next.
Yes, the same call, take it back, Price.
State your name.
Matthew Price.
You solemnly swear from testimony about giving the truth, full truth, and the truth.
Yes, sir, I do.
You're Detective Matt Price, is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And where are you employed?
Sullivan County Sheriff's Office.
And what is your position there at the Sheriff's Office?
Currently, I'm Lieutenant over Criminal Investigations Division.
All right. How long have you been in that position?
I've been lieutenant for about 3 years, 3.5 years,
How long have you been in the Criminal Investigations Division?
since 2009.
All right. And how long have you been in the Sheriff's Department?
May will be 23 years.
Oh,
Lieutenant
back on
Price,
it. Sorry, I'm gonna have to baconate. I was mom life problems. My middle daughter wants to get her belly button pierced. And she's like, the place has an appointment tonight, and she doesn't. I'm trying to be more real with her about what I can do all the time. And with cold and weather fronts running in, after about 4, I am a pumpkin and would like to just be sitting down or laying down on kind of winter days. So I'm like, I will try to tell you at 3 if I can possibly do a belly button appointment at 7. And she's just like, but she's a teen and I get it. It's frustrating when you don't get a full answer from your parents. You don't quite get what else they have going on in life. Again, I get this. I did this as a teen. But it's also like, kiddo, can you cut me some slack? I'm really only human. I really am. I'm sorry that we might have to wait to, pierce the belly button that me and Jesus and God lovingly crafted just fine for you. But apparently you want to bedazzle it, and I can understand your, predilection to bedazzling, so I get it. But still, I wish you would just wait a year so I wouldn't have to be there to sign anything. Can't you think of your mother once? I'm just kidding. I know we should have nothing else going on. I will say it has been a big adjustment, and for the most part my family has really been good about accepting that I have kind of a new, separate mo/thing, just for me. Because for so many years I was not just a stay-at-home mom, but that was my main thing. I didn't have anything outside of that. So it has been an adjustment these past 2 years for my family to really, oh, mom has something she's doing, or I can't just ask mom to go run to do this. And for the most part, we've bumped along, fairly understandingly-ish. Look, we're all human. But this new person, I do believe, is the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office sort of, you know, lead detective, I believe. Well, she is paying White Rabbit. She is paying, it's just more the fact that I have to leave the house and sign for things. I'm like, can I FaceTime him, and show him my ID and show him I'm your real mom, but do I have to be there? I love that all of my problems stem from never wanting to leave the house.
Say we call Detective Matt Price.
State your name.
Matthew Price.
Solemnly swear from testimony about to give you the truth, before you know the truth.
Yes, sir, I do.
Wait a minute. Do we have a pocket protector shield? That is the coolest / most nerdiest thing I've ever seen, and I am intrigued / horrified.
You're Detective Matt Price, is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And where are you employed?
Sullivan County Sheriff's Office.
And what is your position there at the Sheriff's Office?
Currently, I'm Lieutenant over Criminal Investigations Division.
All right. How long have you been in that position?
I've been lieutenant for about 3 years, 3.5 years,
How long have you been in the Criminal Investigations Division?
since 2009.
All right. And how long have you been in the Sheriff's Department?
May will be 23 years.
Lieutenant Price, were you working in the Criminal Investigations Division back on February the 18th of 2020?
Yes, sir, I was.
All right. And what was your assignment there?
I was sergeant in CID at that time.
Okay. Were you called out at that time to assist in the investigation into a missing child by the name of Evelyn Boswell?
Yes, I was.
And if you would, tell the jury a little bit about what your role was in the investigation.
Most of my time was spent in the office conducting interviews, most of that time being with Agent David Gratz with TBI and myself interviewed Megan Boswell.
We pause here for an ADHD avoiding the actual topic because it's just too sad. But y'all, doesn't he have elegant bone structure? I mean, am I wrong in thinking he would make a beautiful drag queen? Now, I don't know why that was my immediate thought when I saw him. Sir, I promise you, Detective Matthew Price, I mean nothing by it. I don't know why my brain works this way. I'm just saying you'd be a beautiful drag queen. So that is meant as a compliment. I'm not sure you've heard it before, but, congratulations to you. Just, he could be. Them eyebrows have a great arch in them. I'm just saying. And a little Cupid's bow on his lip. If he shaves that beard and gets a wig, he can teach me how to do winged eyeliner. Now back to our regularly scheduled trial. I just, decided to point that out because, why not?
Multiple times.
All right. I'm going to kind of walk you through things, maybe start a little bit to the end and walking back forward. But on March the 6th, did you all eventually locate Evelyn's body and go to the property there with Tommy Boswell's out on Muddy Creek?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And in conjunction with, we've heard testimony about the body being recovered, was there also additional evidence that was recovered from there in the playhouse?
Yes, there was.
You guys, you think I'm joking, but until I was like the age 11, I didn't realize that people edited their thoughts. Like, they had inside thoughts and then thoughts that they would, tell people. So 11-year-old me would have probably gone up and said, I don't know if anyone's ever told you this before, sir, but you'd make a beautiful drag queen. And then, my tip that maybe I had said something that normal people don't ever say would be the absolute confused buffering look that people would give me. So I learned to say just kind of banal things until I tested a person out. And once they were okay with normal Mo me, then all bets were off. Yeah, I don't know who. It'll come to me 3 weeks from now, just while I'm in Walmart, and it'll tick me off.
Was.
Okay, and what was that?
There was multiple trash bags that was also located inside the playhouse. Those items were collected.
Awesome.
And we went through those. We brought them to our headquarters at the sheriff's office and processed those here.
Okay. Did you take photographs of the process as you went through the items that were in those?
Yes,
trash
I did.
bags? Okay.
Oh, holy fazoli, it is him. All right, we have to pausinate. And pause. And we have found him, yes. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Lady Tammy. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. And it is appreciated. It will go to the channel and expanding things so I can make more content to you. But thank you so much for sharing with me. Beyond words, I appreciate it. I know how it is to have that little extra over, and thank you so much. That's very, very sweet and very humbling. So thank you. I am miles beyond where I was when I started, and I wouldn't have gotten this channel where it is today without all of you guys' support and encouragement and grace when I have to take leg days. So thank you, Lady Tammy, and all of you guys for being here. I have found my tribe, and Mr. Mo never has to hear about Daryl Brooks again. I signed a contract a la Sheldon, and I am no longer allowed to bring him up. So thank you so much, Lady Tammy. It's just beyond humbling, and thank you. Oh, no. Oh, crud. I am semi-professional.
Yes, I do.
And if you would, tell us what those are.
Items from those trash bags that were recovered from Muddy Creek in the playhouse.
Okay.
Well, sir would be fabulous. And again, if he could teach me how to do winged eyeliner, I would be forever grateful. No judgment. Again, well, the only judgment is more of a just daggone it. I expected when I grew boobs, I would figure out magically how to do makeup. I figured once they grew in, then like the Lord would bless me with the knowledge of how to contour. Now, that has never been the case. In fact, I have just now started learning things from all of those makeup-y channels, but winged eyeliner still eludes me. They are still distant cousins, if you know what I mean. So, no judgment, but sir, if you could teach me how to do winged eyeliner, that would be great.
Okay. Are those photos of some of the items in the trash that you took that night?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Judge, we would introduce those. Are they true and accurate photographs?
Yes, they are.
We moved to make those, I think we're up to 206. Yes.
Any objections? Vote. Will be full exhibits, 206 through 210.
Am I
Judge,
getting
we
the
could, I'd ask
stickers ready?
Lieutenant Price, I'm going to show you what's been introduced as Exhibit 206. If you would, tell the jury what we're looking at here.
So it's one of the white trash bags that we've located inside the playhouse. Inside that white trash bag was another paper trash bag, and inside that was multiple items of trash, including baby bottles and baby food containers.
Okay. And is this a photo taken before, I guess you had inventoried or removed any of those items?
Correct. This was just as soon as we opened the bag.
Now I'm going to show you Exhibit 207. And again, if you would, tell the jury what we're looking at there.
It's another white trash bag that we removed from the playhouse, dollhouse on Muddy Creek. And again, inside of it was numerous other items of trash.
Now showing you Exhibit 208.
Yes, that was an egg carton that was found in one of those trash bags with the expiration date.
All right, I'm going to go back real quick and show you 207 again. Is that the egg carton that we're
It
seeing
is.
there?
Yes, it is.
All right. Now, go back again to 208. Is there an expiration or best buy date on that egg carton there?
Yes, October the 6th, 19.
Now I'm going to show you Exhibit 209. What are we looking at there?
Trash bag with trash inside of it, including a most prominent thing is a milk container.
All right. And again, does that milk container have an expiration date on it?
It does.
I don't know if you can see it or not. I'll zoom in on it. It's a sell by date, sorry.
October 20th.
And I'm now showing you Exhibit 210. What are we looking at there?
There's a receipt, Northeast State Bookstore with Megan Boswell's information on it.
All right. And that was removed from the
Trash can, yes, sir.
Thank you.
I see that last exhibit.
I saw the milk and I thought, oh, there's where my other glasses were. That explains a lot. I saw that and I thought, oh, okay, well, maybe they were making slime. Because I was thinking, oh, are they making slime? Is that what's happening? Because, who knows? But yeah, that's milk. That makes much more sense.
Oh, sorry.
If we could hand Lieutenant, before we do that, Lieutenant Price, you indicated that you all went through the process of inventorying the items that were found in those trash bags. We just showed the jury. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And did you remove several items that you thought perhaps had potential evidentiary value?
Yes, we did.
Okay, what were some of those items?
Bottles, baby bottles, water bottles, like drinking water bottles. There was also a tissue that had some kind of reddish brown stain on it. There was a pair of latex gloves that were removed.
Okay. And did you all package those separately and?
Yes, we did. And
put them in evidence bags so they could be sent to the TBI lab?
that's correct.
All right. Now, if we could hand Lieutenant Price what's been marked for identification as Exhibit 200. Do you recognize it?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
It's a Dasani water bottle.
All right. And is that the Dasani water bottle that you recovered from the trash bags that were taken from the playhouse?
That's correct.
All right. And again, you've mentioned that it was packaged in one of your evidence bags to be sent to the lab.
Right, yes.
All right. Judge, it's previously been moved as identification only. We would move to make it a full exhibit at this time.
Full exhibit, 200.
All right. And ask to publish it to the jury if we could.
Go ahead.
Lieutenant Price, I'm going to hand you another bag and ask if you can identify what has just been handed to you.
Yes, I can.
All right, and what is it, sir?
It's a great value water bottle.
All right, and was that object removed and recovered from the trash bags that you inventoried that evening?
Yes, it was.
Again, was it secured in a separate evidence bag to be sent to the TBI crime lab?
Correct.
Judge, we move to make that full exhibit 211.
Any objection? No, sir. Full exhibit, we're gonna do more.
Lieutenant Price, I'm going to hand you another evidence bag and ask you if you can recognize what's presented to you.
Holy hot flash, y'all. Like, again, God, I am not using my ovaries for evil anymore. Again, Mr. Mo and myself have been Bob Barkered, both spayed and neutered, so we don't have any more sibling, or, spay and neuter your parents, so you don't have any more siblings. So why my hormones have decided to attack me for no reason, it just doesn't seem fair. Like, I'm not even using them for evil or good. They're just neutral. They're Sweden. This is unfair. I demand that if it's cold outside, one should only have functional hot flashes when they're outside in the cold, not when they're inside in the inside. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Yes.
And what is it?
It is another water bottle, a Misty Mountain water
All
bottle.
right. And again, that water bottle was recovered from those trash bags that you inventoried.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And just so we're clear, these were the two trash bags that were separate from the trash can, correct?
That's right.
None
Yes.
of these items that you testified to were found with the victim's body.
Correct.
All right, they were in the trash bags, I believe. I'll pull a photo up here in a minute, but they were separate.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. Judge, we need to make that exhibit number 212.
Any objection? No, sir. Full exhibit 212.
Permission to publish that, Judge?
Yes.
If I could, I'm going to pass you another piece of evidence, ask you if you can identify that.
Yes.
And what is it?
It's a Great Value, or Food Club water bottle.
All right. And was that water bottle also recovered from those trash bags?
Yes, it was.
All right, and it was secured separately in an evidence bag to be sent to the lab?
Yes.
Judge, we can make that exhibit 213.
Any objection? No, sir. Full exhibit 213.
Ask that it be
Just a
published
couple
here.
minutes ago.
Lieutenant Price, I'm going to hand you another evidence bag and ask you if you can identify what's contained in that.
Sir. No, directly into the mic, right on top of it,
Yes.
and also
What is it?
breathe.
It's a white tissue with some kind of stain on it.
All right. And was that tissue recovered from inside the trash bags that you were inventorying that night?
Yes, it was.
And was it packaged in a separate evidence container bag to be sent to the TBI lab?
Correct.
Judge, we move to make that exhibit 214.
Any objection? No, sir. Full exhibit 213.
Ask permission to publish that to the jury. And hand you another item and ask if you can identify what's contained there.
Yes.
What is it?
It is a baby bottle.
All right. And was that baby bottle found in the trash bags that you inventoried?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
There's also, the lab has, there's some of the liquid that was in the bottle, looks like the lab has put it in a separate container.
Okay. Is that actually in a separate?
In a separate plastic container, like a test tube kind of thing.
Okay. Can we make that exhibit 216, perhaps maybe?
Yeah, you get baby bottle would be 215. The container is regular 216.
Good Lord.
That's.
So here's an interesting tidbit about mics, because I had to learn this for my own mic. There's different types of mic, so they probably have an omnidirectional on that particular one to pick up, you know, depending on where the person's sitting, to pick up sound all around the mic. I have my mic set to only pick up sound around the front and to kind of cancel outside noise, although you can still hear my feral children, but not to the point you would if it was omnidirectional. So they probably have it on omnidirectional, so it is picking up just all the crinkles. I don't know why every courtroom that streams doesn't have its, own AV person or tech person. It would seem like it would be important, but who knows?
Need to mark
The
this-
baby bottle.
Mark it first, or
Is it marked? 215.
Now, because they test the baby bottle, I do wonder, and now it wasn't alluded to in opening statements, but I do wonder if they tested for any substances in Evelyn's bottles to see if maybe she was being medicated. Again, you have to remember, we're not quite sure when she was actually put in there, but very close to the last time anyone saw her, Megan was working from 4 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. midnight to earlier in the morning the next day. So, they may have wondered if Megan was giving her something to make her sleep all day. I mean, that would be something that my mind would clue into, seeing as just, it would seem like something that might be something she would do to keep, Evelyn quiet, not have to find a babysitter that's going to give her ish about working so much and hanging around, Hunter. It seems like something that would have, been a fig Newton in her mind to, maybe do.
it's not.
Okay.
There's another bag in there from the lab. It doesn't appear to have anything at all in it. It's just a clear plastic bag.
You want to step it.
Let's You said there's another bag in.
Yes, and I believe this was the.
Okay, Okay, y'all, make this make sense. Poor man who is investigating the evidence or showing it has to wear like 2 sets of gloves. Then he hands something to the bailiff who never's wearing gloves. And now these 2 lawyers that are, checking the truthfulness of the evidence are not wearing gloves. It's just stupid enough to be real life in 2025.
Where's the other bag?
Right here.
Okay, I have figured out who he reminds me of. Now, if any of you were fabulous theater kids and thought you might go into fashion design, Project Runway Tim. Make it work, make it work, make it fabulous. He is definitely Tim. He's like, make it work. Anyway, sorry. Like I told you, it would come to me who he reminded me of. And it finally did on a delay. I love how my brain is just in the background trying to figure out through, slots of all my, actor people that I know. And and it finally goes, Tim from Project Runway. With no decorum at all, because the Council of Mo is trying to have a conversation. We've got important things to be doing and thinking about. And Random Mo is just, it was Tim from Project Runway. And they're like, we were discussing, adult things.
Lieutenant Price, I may have you identify that there's a separate plastic bag that's in there.
Correct.
Does it appear to have TBI agents and evidence tape on it?
It does, yes.
Okay, I'm just trying not to leave you, but does that appear to be the original bag where the box is processed at the lab?
Correct, yes.
Okay. I think we'll just leave that in the bag with it. If you would, publish Exhibit 215 at this point.
And as a professional mama, that's about what my kiddos would be using at about 13 months. You want to encourage them to stop, using a bottle so much because that can start to affect the placement of their teeth. So, you do want to start discouraging the pacifier, the thumb sucking. So that would be about what I would give my kiddos at 13-ish months.
Lieutenant Price, I'm going to hand you.
Applause. My oldest son stole my Circle water bottle, but he's actually drinking water, so I'm not so upset that I lost it.
You recognize it?
Yes.
What is it?
Blue latex glove.
And were those collected from the contents of the trash bags that you inventory?
Yes, they were.
And were they secured in a separate evidence bag to be sent to the TBI lab?
That is correct.
All right. Judge, we move to make those Exhibit 217.
No, sir.
Before we get to that,
Judge, we'd ask permission to publish those to the jury.
go ahead.
Oh, for the love of all that is Cheetos, sir.
Probably obviously.
Okay, I was interested to see the latex gloves because I do use them when I color my hair when I am thinking about it. When I'm not thinking about it, I turn my hands red. So when I'm thinking about it, I definitely will use latex gloves to keep the red off. So I was looking to see it didn't appear to me that Megan's hair was colored in the interviews and things like that. But I figured if I was trying to think of everything I would use latex gloves for innocently, and the first thing that popped into my mind was hair color. It is well, I'm trying to keep you from it, but they have a lot of circumstantial evidence. So we're just going to be sitting here listening to crinkly things, and then we will be listening to interrogations. I am probably going to take a break after this particular detective. They go to lunch. I'm going to take my own lunch break after this witness, and then we will get back to it and keep going until we keep going. The Petty Express is somewhat, situational about when it ends.
The jury at this point in time, but are those gloves all one piece or are they broken apart?
Broken apart.
Okay. You all did not break them apart.
No, sir.
All right.
They were like that.
That's the condition they were in. When you
Correct.
broke it.
That's it, y'all. Bobby's a millionaire. He had eggs. Well, fancy. Just showing your, riches all around. Just bragging, aren't you? I'm just kidding. I will say eggs are more expensive here, but they aren't at the crazy prices that are in, New York City. I do hope they go down soon. I am seriously thinking about going to, all to the mattresses with my HOA to be able to have chickens. Of course, I would name them all Nugget. I'd never be able to get rid of them. They would die of old age. I always suspected, Bobby. I always did.
All right. I'm going to hand you another item and ask if you can identify that.
Great success. That's actually a really good question. And I had that question for a while too when I first started watching trials. But a lot of the experts have explained that the paper bags allow air to go through, and with plastic, if there's any sort of moisture on the evidence, it could grow mold. So it's counterintuitive. You would think that paper would not preserve things better, but it actually does, and doesn't let mold get in there and things like that. So it's a really good question because I had the same question. Oh, for the love of Cheetos, sir. Just what I'm trying to tell my daughter. I will attempt this 7 p.m. mutilation of her umbilical cord, monument.
Yes.
What is it?
It's a cold and cough nighttime medicine bottle.
And was that bottle collected from the trash bags that you all inventoried that evening?
Yes, it was.
And was it secured in a separate evidence bag to be sent to the DVI lab?
Yes.
Judge, we can make that exhibit number 218.
Ooh, I get an honorable mention.
Sent to the DVI lab.
Yes.
Judge, we can make that exhibit.
We mow to make that an exhibit. Yes, I am included. I feel seen. Doggone it. Like Stuart Smalley says, darn it, you are good enough and you are special, doggone it. And we're going to make it through this day for the love of all that is holy. Also, so this is the things that are popping up in the trash can are giving me a different story. And it's one that's even more heartbreaking. And I hope it's not true, which is really odd to say, that I hope that whatever happened to Evelyn was a terrible, terrible, terrible lapse in judgment for a few minutes. But the evidence of the plastic bag, the, or the plastic gloves, the cold medicine, if it was found next to them, and the sippy cups, is all adding to more premeditation than I hoped. And I hope that I am just, going down a rabbit hole trying to, focus on little things rather than the whole entirety and the ugly picture that this, case and this evidence paints. But it is beginning to look possibly premeditated, in my opinion. This is speculation, and this is, just Mo thoughts, Mo musings. This is not, criminologist, doctorologist. But Megan put Evelyn, look, whoever put Evelyn in that playhouse, it is an out of the way place. It is a place that generally was reserved for Megan. So it was a place that most people wouldn't go to. And the person who placed Evelyn there would have knowledge that this was a place that was kind of a sacred Megan only spot. This wouldn't be a place that people would normally go. Again, that just, a lot of things are adding up to this being a more Susan Smith, Diane Downs pre-planning, not great pre-planning, not foolproof pre-planning, but definitely, to me, it's looking more like a pre-planned thing. And if she gave her cold medicine so she wouldn't fight that much, maybe, again, a lot of people watch Hollywood and think that smothering or, asphyxiation doesn't take that long. It takes a lot longer than you would think. Maybe she thought she was already passed away and she wasn't. And God, I wish this wasn't true. God, I wish Megan had taken the, 5 seconds to run that baby to her grandfather, to the foster mother, to, even, Erica Stacy, the mother of the boy that she dated very shortly. I'm sure any of these people would have taken that baby for a day, a two, a week, if Megan needed to, figure out her life or figure out if she was going to keep Evelyn. But instead, it's adding up to just a heartbreaking situation in which the entire world was robbed of the future that Evelyn had and the impact that she could have had on lives. And it's just remarkably sad.
Number 218. Okay. All right. Lieutenant Price, I want to go back now. You mentioned that your, primary role, the primary duties that you had during this investigation was speaking with Megan Boswell along with Agent Grants. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And did you talk with Ms. Boswell or interview her on multiple occasions during the course of this investigation?
Yes, I did.
All right. Now, I know you did not do the initial first interviews with Ms. Boswell. Is that correct?
Correct, I did not.
Okay. Were you present, or did you speak with the detectives and other individuals who had spoken with her initially?
Yes.
Okay. So you were aware of the initial information that she gave to them about the child being with Ethan Perry?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Now, on February 20th of 2020, I
think within the first
did Ms. Boswell show back
90
up at the
days.
Sullivan County Sheriff's Office?
Yes, she did.
Okay. Was that something that you all had planned, or had you requested her to come to the Sheriff's Office?
No, we had not. She just showed up in the lobby and
Okay.
wanted to talk.
Actually, you guys, I didn't realize we are going right into an interview or interrogation interview. So what I'm going to do is stop here, get some lunch. I am getting a little bit emotional, so I am turning red. So hopefully I will be more pale when I come back, which would be nice because my face feels like it's on fire. The pitfalls of being incredibly averse to sunlight and also According to my mother, who, again, I love her to death, but she always claimed that we had Native, American, lineage, and I would always just look at her and say, which tribe in Sweden do we hail from? Because I am from the Swiss Miss tribe. For those of you who don't know, I am naturally blonde. So, you know, I would always laugh my, little, sunburnt self off when my mom would say things like that. So, you guys, take a break, watch something fun, maybe reach out to a mom or your mom and, just tell her thank you for being a great mom, do whatever, do something affirming and good or funny, or pet your emotional support danger floof. And I will be back around 3 p.m. to, do some more of this. We might not get the full day done. I do have a 7 p.m. appointment to sign for my daughter's belly button piercing. Now, I would just like to point out that I am a cool mom and I'm still going to get my, eyes rolled at me. And I would like to, lodge a complaint with, I don't know, some sort of human rights commission. I am a cool mom. I try my very darndest and I'm still going to get eye rolls at some point, probably this weekend. So thank you guys for joining the Petty Express. I will put up that next stream. You guys are free to go wherever in the interwebs you want to go because I am starving. I'm going to go get probably some chicken nuggets because I'm 12 and, RFK isn't here to yell at me personally yet. Bye, you guys.